Of our favorite pop culture experts here to help us break down everything lighting up the blogs. It's Quentin Latham, aka Funky Dineva. Welcome back to this show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's dive right in.
We have a lot.
In a case that has more twist than an episode of Game of Thrones, the Jussie Smollett case has taken yet another turn. After a grand jury indicted Jussie for felony disconduct for allegedly staging a hate crime attack, in a sudden move by the prosecution, all charges have been dropped, but it's not exactly what you might be thinking. Take a look.
Do you think Mr. Smollett did what he was charged with doing?
Yes, we stand behind the CPD's investigation in this case, the great work, the tremendous work that they did in investigating this case.
Do you consider him innocent?
No.
So, what does your gut tell you about this?
This whole situation reeks of privilege. It reeks of political influence. It reeks of somebody up top knowing somebody down bottom to make some things happen.
So, in the court of public opinion, what is the entertainment industry thinking about Jussie at this moment?
You know, I don't know if people know what to think in this moment. I mean, it's obvious that he did it, right? But I mean, listen, this is America. Everybody's running around doing stuff without consequence. Look at our president. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just like, okay, he did it, but everybody else gets off. What's next?
Right. I guess for me now, it's like I find him way less credible.
Most definitely.
After this.
Most definitely. Like, I don't want to see him in a Pepsi commercial. I don't want to see him in a Tide commercial. I don't want to see him in a Gerber baby commercial. The only commercials I want to see him in is alcohol ads and rated R ads, because you're no longer the clean, fun guy that's family friendly that we like and trust.
As we were talking about it before the show, do you think that this is similar to when R. Kelly was acquitted way back in the day, and people felt like he was guilty of doing, nasty things with those little girls? Do you think that this will be a similar look for Jussie?
I mean, it flows in the same vein, obviously not as severe,
Right.
but I think with Jussie, this will blow over. Kim Kardashian will do something stupid that'll completely sweep the news cycle and come to the forefront of our mind, or Kanye will have another nervous breakdown at Denny's or something, and nobody will be thinking about this Jussie Smollett situation. Luckily, it was a victimless crime for the most part.
Right. So that's the good thing.
And he didn't hurt anyone, so I do think we'll be able to forgive him.
Do you think that Fox will bring him back next season?
Yeah, I think he's instrumental to Empire, and like I said, the blowback from this hasn't been one of which that the advertisers are pulling out. I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine.
Okay. And so what do you think he should do next?
Sit back and shut up and disappear and just sit still for a while and let it blow over and hire Olivia Pope and beef up his retainer with his publicist and get a good set of engagements to completely clear up all of this, and ask Tyler Perry or Lee Daniels to put him in a movie so we can forget about all of this.
Do you think that he will shut up?
I hope so. I mean, if not, you better look at OJ. OJ thought he got off once. They didn't get him on the front end, but they got him on the back end. So
that's true.
If you get away with murder, sit still and shut up.
All right. So let's talk about Wendy Williams.
Let's talk about her.
All right, but first I want to play you this clip.
I am still very much in love with my husband, and anybody who's been married for 5 minutes or 500 years, marriages have ebbs and flows. Marriages are not easy. Don't ask me about mine until you see this gone. And it ain't going anywhere, not in this lifetime.
Okay, so now that she has been allegedly spotted leaving the sober house without her ring, can we now ask her about this?
Yes, we can ask her about it, and we gonna ask her about it. Wendy, girl, what's going on around there? Let me tell you something. Wendy is at the wrong house. She is at the sober house, but she need to be at the courthouse, okay? Not only is she stuck on drugs, she is stuck on stupid. And if she gets rid of that man, everything else will auto-correct itself, and she could leave the sober house and go back to the Jersey house.
Why is it that you think that she won't leave her husband
Well,
at this point?
I think it's kind of hard. I think that husband and her, their businesses are all intertwined. I don't know how well her assets are protected as far as a prenuptial agreement is concerned. And like much people, in the business, you're not about to cheat on me and then I write you a check for $50 million for you to go set up shop with the next chick on my dime. So I think there's a lot of that going. And not to mention, I also think Wendy's somewhat broken and that man has a head.
So the tabloids are alleging that Kevin's alleged mistress, I have to say alleged because none of this has been true, has had a baby. What do we know about this lady, Sharina Hudson?
That she's sitting next to Wendy's husband in the Cannes or the south of France somewhere, not having a care in the world, and Wendy's in the sober house as a result of it. The baby situation is rumor, street rumor. I mean, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Supposedly she had to go to the hospital or something because the woman had the baby and she done had another fit and done fell out down to the sober house. So, you know, at this point it's just rumor, but time will tell.
But here's the thing. Do you think that he just doesn't care anymore
That
about
marriage been done. Yes, when somebody is that sloppy, when they're out on vacation with somebody that's not their wife, that means you've taken no sort of precautionary measures to make sure that this didn't get out. He doesn't care.
Why is it that Wendy will not really address this matter on her show?
Because she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed and she's shamed, and it's funny, she hasn't gotten over the fact that Wendy is the queen of let me spray everybody, tell their business, exploit, and expose them. And the fact that America as a whole, we're somewhat taking delight in the fact that now it's your turn. And she just hasn't manned up or womaned up yet to be able to say, listen, I'm having some issues. What you guys have heard is kind of true. We don't need the details. We just want you to acknowledge what we obviously see, which is your husband is on a resort in a bathing suit with a woman that's not you, and they say this lady done had a baby. Like, you got to give us something, girl, and I don't want to hear nothing about no Graves' disease or no sober house. Let's talk about this picture. Who is this woman? Who is this?
I agree 100% with you. So we hear that she has been hospitalized. How does this work given that she's supposed to be in the sober house, but she's allegedly out of the sober house getting allegedly drunk? How does that work?
Baby, I don't know, because I ain't never worked at the sober house, nor have I ever been to the sober house. All I'm gonna say is well, you know what, how does that work? Is she supposed to have a 24-hour coach with her?
Exactly, that's what I thought.
The lies, the lies, the lies. I'm telling you, I think Wendy got caught coming out of that sober house and she built all this, I got a coach and I'm doing 2 hours of Pilates. Does Wendy look like somebody that do 2 hours of Pilates every day?
Well, you know what? All I have to say is we'll have to keep watching. We'll have to keep you guys up to date on our hot topics. Quentin, thank you so much for joining us. You'll have to come back. We'll have more Daily Flash right after this.